Hi, good afternoon, it's Libby. It's day 28 of my challenge to go 28 days without buying anything and just eating out of my cupboards, out of my freezer, my fridge. And throughout the week, I'm allowed to buy some fruit and veg, which is fine. And just to see how I can go and how much I can save and see how it's gone. So I've got a little review coming up now. I've wrote down a few things here that I've found. So what have I learned on this challenge? Well, the reason I did this challenge was 28 days ago was because my freezer was absolutely full of food and I wanted to defrost it, I wanted to clean it out, and I wanted to use up what was in there. So there's quite a few bits and pieces left from Christmas, so they're now all gone. And I've used up quite a lot. So I would say my freezer's down by half. So I've got a lot more space in there. And it's so much easier to work with. So I know I've got space in there. So if I do make an extra portion of something, I'm now not going to be in panic thinking, oh my God, where am I going to put this food? So that's one thing. So my freezer is half down now. So that's a plus. So that was a little tick for my reasons I did this challenge. I also did this challenge to help you also to get into that mindset of not always having to nip down the shop just to get a few bits and pieces. One, it wastes time, it wastes petrol, and invariably we spend more money than we need, and a lot of the food that we buy will then be wasted because we probably buy things unnecessarily. One thing you don't want to do when you go shopping is to go without a list. Stick with your list. If you don't, you just buy unnecessary things. So what have I learnt? I've learnt that I have more time than I had before because I am not rushing down to the shops. I've got my little store cupboard and that's all I have. I've learnt to, that then I've got more time to do other things that I like doing. I've learnt to be more mindful about the food that I actually have. So in that respect, being more creative, looking in the fridge, looking in the freezer, looking in the cupboards and kind of thinking, what can I make with this? Going through the fridge every day. I know that sounds boring, but I go in the fridge and I look in there. What have I got? What can I use up? What am I going to, if that's not used up in the next 2 days, it will be spoiled and need to be thrown away. Don't want to get to that place. So I go in the fridge every day and look basically what is there and what isn't. Having a plan. So moving forward and cooking in bulk and spreading it around through the month. So what used to happen was, before I started this challenge, I would make a portion of something and there'd be enough for 4 portions. And then what I would do is maybe I'd freeze one and then I'd eat the rest through the next few days. That is not good nutrition because my body doesn't want to eat that same food day in, day out. It will start to get intolerances to things. So we don't want to be doing that. So what I've decided to do now is if I make a bulk amount of food, it's good to cook in bulk because it's helpful for time. But what I will do is I will freeze most of it and it's in my meal plan that in the next week I'll have it, and then maybe in 2 weeks' time I'll have the last portion and then moving it over to the next month. So that's one good thing. So spreading it around, so I'm not having it every day. Again, don't buy anything that's not on your list. So have a list, go through your meal plan, try and shop once or twice a month and have your meals planned for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and then see what you've got in your cupboards. Have you got all that food to make those things? And also avoid making too many things food that you haven't got the things for. If you get what I mean, yeah? So you kind of see a recipe, oh, I'm going to make that. I'll nip down to the shop and I'll get all these ingredients because I don't have anything here. I've not got any of these ingredients. Don't bother because you just end up wasting more money, and a lot of the things that are bought off that list may be not used again. One, you might not like the food that you've made from it and then that food is spoilt. Don't just shop for odds and ends. Try and be organised. As I said, don't shop when you're hungry, don't shop when you're angry, and don't shop when you're sad, because invariably we're looking for comfort. So we'll then go to the shops to fulfill one of our emotions. And don't go shopping when you're thirsty. Make sure you're drinking lots of water, because again, if sometimes we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. So lots of water before you go shopping. Shop on your own. Don't take everybody with you from the family, because invariably they'll be like, oh, Mum, can we have these? Mum, can we have that? And then you're going to be going away from your shopping list, away from your budget, and you end up spending more money. And a lot of that stuff is not necessary. So shop on your own if you can. I know that's not always easy when you've got children. Don't go for the offers unless you need them, okay? So if, for example, you're looking for four cans of coconut milk, and you get to the shelf and it says, buy 2, get the 3rd one for half price. Look at the price ratio, work it out, because there might be another coconut milk at the bottom of the shelf that is cheaper than that offer. So don't go with the offer straight away. I'm not saying don't use the offers, because offers are sometimes quite useful. But if the offer's right in the middle line, because they put the food in the middle line, that's what they want you to buy. So that will always be the mid-price or more expensive. So look above and look below, because those are the items that are going to be cheaper than that middle row. Okay, so remember that, because that's quite useful, because I've done it before now. I picked up a can of coconut milk, put it in my trolley, and then as I went down, I noticed, oh, hold on a minute, there's some more coconut oil down here, or coconut milk, that is 20p less money. So kind of, work that out. Also, something else that's just come to mind right now is to know your prices of things. Now, I know that if I go to Aldi, I can buy coconut milk for about 70 pence. If I go to Sainsbury's, it's going to be about £1.20. So already I know if I buy 3 cans, I'm going to be able to buy the 4th one, basically with the money I've saved and buying it from Sainsbury's. So I've got an extra can, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah. So don't always go for the offers, and know your prices between supermarkets if you can. Keep a freezer book. This is something I've learned to do. I've got a freezer book, but keep it up to date. So when you go shopping, just write down what you've put in the freezer, because then you'll know what's in there. Because what you don't want to happen is in a couple of months' time, you go in that freezer, the back of the freezer, you find something, it's marked, you've put the name on because you need to write down what it is, but it's got freezer burn. It's all iced up and it's not going to be very pleasant to eat. So what happens? You throw it away. If that would have been in the book, you would have known it was there. So put the date you put it in, and you should be keeping these things. If you're making ready-made food, they don't last more than maybe a couple of months. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep your creativity going. Look in news, in new magazines and things for recipes that you have the ingredients for. Okay, so what else am I looking at? So yeah, one of the other things that I've learned is actually my food. I've got too much food in my house. I don't need to have so much food. So I'm gradually going to wind that stock down and then restock and get some new stuff, because I'm not saying my food is old, but I've had the cans in there for maybe a year and they're still in shelf life. But if I don't use them up, what I tend to do is buy more, and then they just, the other ones don't get used. Also, rotate your tins. So like they do at the supermarket, they put the newest at the back and the oldest at the front. So if you're buying a can of some more chickpeas, put them at the back so you've got them in organisation. That's one thing that you're going to really find, that you start to have that mindset of keeping things fresh, keeping things moving through your kitchen. You don't want stagnant food hanging around. You want everything to be fresh. So also try and grow some of your own products, your own sprouts. You can grow bean sprouts on the windowsill. I showed you at the beginning of this challenge. I've actually grew some mung beans. I grew some lentils, and all of those I grew them on the windowsill. And they grow really well, and they're lovely to add to salad, add to things like stir fries. Grow your own veg if you can. So I've now come to my 28 days of my challenge is now ended. What I've had the last few days is bits and bits out the freezer and fridge again. I have been making my own soya milk, so I've got another jug here ready to be made. So this will make practically 2 litres of almond soya bean milk. So that will give me 2 litres. That will last me about 3 days. So again, I've run out, so that's going to be made today, and that'll be ready by mid-afternoon, and I'll bring it in the fridge. Also made some almond milk, which you can do, and the oat milk. So you can actually make these milks without buying the cartons. My worry is we buy these cartons of milk, the oaty, the sort of the soya milk, and those cartons are quite difficult to recycle. So it's always my intention to try and move away from buying anything in packages. So this buying the soya milk in these, just the soya beans and making your own milk, I'm going to save over the month probably 20 cartons of those litre Tetra Paks. Because I use probably, say if I use 5 a week, probably don't use 5 a week, but maybe if I use 5 a week, and that's going to be 20 plus cartons that get thrown away. And I don't know how well those cartons actually recycle. I think there's a bit of a problem with them, but I'm going to avoid it because I'm using my own, yeah? I can also make my own almond milk, and it's far cheaper to buy the almonds. I know it sounds expensive when you buy a pack of almonds, maybe a kilogram of almonds. It's about £18. I always buy organic when I can, but those will make a lot of milk. And again, I am saving the planet by not having these cartons using, and the same with the oaty milk. One thing I've found when I make the oat milk, and this is a little bit of just a heads up for you to realise, is I have to use it straight away, because if I leave it in the fridge the next day, it goes a little bit gloopy, because the oats start to release their gluten and things, so it gets a bit stringy. So that is something you need to watch out for. There might be somebody that can actually show me and make that in a different way. I don't know. I'll need to probably do a bit of research with that. So I'm going shopping tomorrow. I've made my list, and this coincides with my list that I made a couple of weeks ago, it's in the cupboard, sorry I can't get it out right now, which is my meal plan. So I've got my meal plan for 8 weeks, and I've rotated the things, and a lot of the food's going to be moved to the next week or the following month, be in the freezer ready to make. So that again is going to save me quite a lot of time. I know this is always a little bit difficult when you've got family, but if you live in, it's just a couple of you, then it's not so bad. So I've got my list here of what I need. Now, some of this I'm going to go to Sainsbury's tomorrow because I need quite a few things, more specialised things than I would get from Aldi. For example, I like miso paste. I make things with miso. I make a lot of noodles and a lot of tofu stuff. So I need some miso paste, and I've missed that through the month because I didn't have any. I need some spelt spaghetti. So again, I can't get that from Aldi. And there's few other bits and pieces. I am going to buy some vegetarian or vegan margarine because the one I made is okay, but I just can't get on with it. It's fine as a temporary, kept me going for a week, but I'm going to get some of that. And then some of this food, especially the vegetables, I will look at Sainsbury's. I will get a little bit of the organic stuff that I need, like beetroot, spinach, things that I juice a lot, carrots, and the rest of the stuff I will probably go to Aldi. So my Aldi and Sainsbury's are kind of on the way home anyway, so it's not a problem. I am going to do a trip to a Chinese supermarket next week, so I will video it, or probably not video the shop, but I'll video what I get from there. I've never been before, but I've been listening to quite a few YouTubers on saving money, and they've actually been saying if you're vegan and you want tofu and tempeh, if you go to the Chinese supermarket, it is a lot cheaper, and you're getting double the amount for the same price as a supermarket. So I'm going to go and check that out and see if that is that correct or not. So yeah, so I've made my list of what I'm making, and then I've literally looked through my cupboards and what I need. I've got it here, what I need, and it's not a huge amount. That's going to last me probably over the month, not the vegetables, because I will need to go and get vegetables, but most of that is going to last me a couple of weeks. The veg, I've got quite a lot of veg there I need to stock up with. And so yeah, all in all, I think I'm quite pleased with myself that I've carried on with this challenge. I know some of you wanted to join me. I know some of you have, and I walked with a friend yesterday, and she's tried her best to keep to this 28 days without buying any food. But unfortunately, you know, if you've got other people in the house, they don't probably want to go into that same mindset. So, you know, occasionally her husband's come back with something tempting, and like trifle or something he's found in the supermarket that he thought would be nice for tea. And so, yeah, but she was saying that, you know, most of the time she's used up a lot of the food in her fridge. And one thing she has found is, like me, her freezer's gone right down. So then she can defrost the fridge and freezer and get back into a cleaner space. The only thing I need to do tomorrow, I remember I made my kombucha, and I've got one here. I've got 2 of these jars. They've got the little hats on. And inside here, I've got the SCOBY. Now, if I bring it over to you, you're kind of not going to be able to see it. But if you see that frothy bit at the top, that white froth, that is actually surrounding the white SCOBY. So I'm just going to pull it out so you can see. So it's like little bits that we can't really see it, but it's little bits of the SCOBY. So if I can just show you there, it doesn't look very pleasant, and that's broken up a bit. But like I said, in the winter, it takes a long time for this to make into the brew. So that's kind of ready. So what I need to do, and I'm just going to show you these. I've already washed these glass jars or these glass bottles, and they've got these spring tops on. So I've taken those off, and then what I'll do, now they've all nicely washed, I will put them in my oven. I don't have a dishwasher. If I had a dishwasher, you could wash them through the dishwasher, but if not, you can put them in the oven for, I think it's for 20 minutes and on about 120 degrees. So it's not too hot, and it will sterilise the bottle. You do need to sterilise them at this stage. And then what I'm going to do tomorrow, I will hop on and make a video, and I'm going to show you how to flavour it. But some of the ingredients I need to get is from Sainsbury's, some fresh ginger, turmeric and things like that. I'm going to flavour some with rose petals and some with lavender. I did these before and they were really delicious. So they will make that, this brew will make about 3 of these bottles, and I need to remember to keep 1 bottle. So I've got 3 of these, and then I just have a small bottle, which is my sort of starter. So I will use that to put 2 cups of kombucha in. Otherwise, what tends to happen, you drink it and then you suddenly realise, oh no, I haven't got any kombucha left to make any drink. So a new brew. So I've not ever got to that point, but sometimes it's very tempting to drink that last bit and then you suddenly realise I haven't got any kombucha left. So if you're into making the kombucha, I will do a separate video tomorrow on how to bottle it and how to flavour it on the second ferment. So I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. I've been preparing my garden. I've put plastic sheets over the bed now, which will keep the bed starting to get warmer, and therefore then I can start sowing my seeds. Today, it's Sunday, so today I've just done a yoga class, and then I'm going to do a little bit more work on my horticultural course, try and finish that before the end of this month. And then I'm going to get in the garden, I'm going to get the compost out, and I'm going to start putting some seeds out on the windowsill. So tomorrow I can show you what I've planted. And if you wanted to join me in March, it's going to be more about gardening, about getting ahead with, you know, and growing things for spring and summer. So yeah, I think that's where we are right now. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you. What I'm having for dinner tonight, I'm making a curry and I'm making some flatbread. There's flour's already sieved here, ready with everything in, and it's got its like seeds and things in. I'm making a coriander and cumin flatbread. I found this little recipe with a nice curry and lots of nice rice. I haven't got any fresh coriander, so I can't put that in my on my curry, which I quite like, the coriander. I will be getting some down at Sainsbury's. I buy a big bunch and then I freeze it. So you can chop it up, put it in the freezer, and then just a handful over the curry when you're ready to eat it. So thank you so very much for joining me for the last 28 days if you've been watching my channel. And I hope to carry on through the year, giving you advice, tips and advice on healthy living, gardening blogs, and then also some yoga meditation. I'm hoping to get out in my cabin in the next couple of months, so that'll be nice and warm out there, and I'm hoping to do some videos out there because it's lovely out there and the sun's shining and we're in the garden. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming on today and listening to me. Please subscribe, please like the video. The more likes we get, the more people get to see these sort of content, and I just want everybody to save a bit of money and to eat healthy. So thank you so much, and Sat Nam everybody. Bye bye.